Welcome to another edition of Positive Profiles. I'm Kimberly Skeet. We decided to have a more at-home feel today because we wanted to look at nutrition. What do you have in your fridge? What is it that you take to work each day? What do you pack for your children's lunches? I have with me Community Nutrition Officer Marrianne Burnham, and she's here to help us not only look at those things, but also tell us why she has such a passion for it. Marrianne, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Now, how did you get into becoming a nutrition officer?
Well, if I start at the beginning, I just realized, I think when I was 14 years old, that nutrition had a major impact on my body and what happened monthly and whatever pain I went through, and nutrition had a major impact on less pain and wellness. And from then I became very passionate about it. I decided to pursue it, and I went to Acadia University in Nova Scotia, Canada, and I got a bachelor's degree in nutrition, and my nutrition life started there.
So the education is what really brought you full circle into understanding how we should treat our bodies.
Yeah. The education had a major impact, yes. And just, of course, my real life experience. So
how has that real life experience enhanced your outreach to members within the community and getting them to understand how we should treat our bodies?
Well, you know what? Just meeting the different people that I meet every day in the community brings that real life experience to life. It is there, it is present, you know, seeing people in real time who are obese, who have diabetes, who have high cholesterol, who have high blood pressure and other nutritional issues, but seeing them and understanding what they go through and understanding their practices, you know, brings the whole nutrition thing, the whole real life experience home to me, because it is their actions that have sort of created this issue with the condition that they have. So it is quite intense. It sort of affects the way that you eat, because you go through so much of how other people eat. It really affects, yes, you know about food and nutrition, but it really affects what you touch, because you talk about food, you deal with food and the effects of food on your body every day. So it affects you as a person and the choices that you make.
It's interesting that you mentioned choices, because I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about what we grab for even a beverage. We see sodas aplenty, and yet there's still the option of water, there's still the options of juices, those kind of things. What is your greatest challenge in trying to steer a person who might be suffering from an NCD in the direction that they should go, knowing full well that as soon as they leave the clinic, there's somebody outside with a soda waiting?
It's habits is what they've been doing for years. So I usually see a lot of mature adults, a lot of people over 50, over 60, a good few over 70. I see people, let's say, from ages 20 and up. On average, of course, I see kids, but it's their practices is what they've been doing for years. So how am I asking them now to break that practice, to not grab a soda each and every time you want, to not have a soft drink when you eat your cooked food in the afternoon or in the evening? How do you break that habit? And, you know, people are telling me, you're telling me to stop eating. You know, like, you know, that's what they're hearing. I'm telling them to stop eating, stop drinking, don't use anything. But it is very hard for them to break the habit. So it is the sweet drinks and the soft drinks, and it is all the other non-carbonated drinks as well, because here in Barbados, when we say juice, we usually mean juice drink. And the juice drinks are very full of sugar, and I don't think the average Bajan thinks about that, or they might think about, okay, I'm not drinking the soft drink, the carbonated drink, let me aim for this juice, but the juice is laden with just as much sugar oftentimes as the soft drink, so you don't win, right? So people don't understand that.
Are we getting to understand that it is an addiction, the sugar?
I don't know if we're getting to understand that. Maybe the odd patient that really puts it together, or when they sit and we talk and whatever, they realize, oh my gosh, I've been really consuming or over consuming the sugar. I just never thought of it. So for some people, but I don't think the average person realizes that. I don't think they get it.
Is there someone that you can call to mind, even if you don't have a name, that you saw them either in the clinic or outside of the clinic that may have been on the brink from a health standpoint, and you found a way to pull them back and get them to change their lifestyle?
A good few people. A good few people that happens. You know, they come and they thank me. Some people even get very emotional in the clinic. So no, we do have people that we impact that have made that change, that realize, oh my gosh, I was killing myself. I had a guy years ago, I wasn't in the clinic I work at, in another clinic. You know, he didn't realize the effect that the soft drinks were having on his blood sugars. And he was a diabetic and he was out of control, etc. And when I explained the effect of the soft drinks and he stopped, he was like, oh my gosh, my blood sugars are normal. You know, they've decreased so tremendously. And he then put it together, what he was doing to his body. He didn't understand that all the time. So, you know what? When you get it, when you understand it and you start to make the change, you know, you feel better, it's more impactful, etc. So I find that, yeah, when the people start to understand, when they break it down and I know they're able to put it together, that's when you see change. So I've been able to effect change in a lot of people. Other people, you know, I make sure I educate them, but they make their, you know, they have the education, they have the knowledge, but they choose to continue their sweet drinks or eat in a particular way. And I say, well, this is your choice.
It's about choices.
So I say, you know, eventually maybe you'll start to experience nerve pain in your feet or your hands. Your eyes are going to be blurry, whatever. But if you want to go through this, you know, you will continue your high sugar diet when I'm focusing on sugar. And there's some people that just suffer through because they opt not to change.
What about change that affects not only the individual now that you've touched, but changes the entire diet of a household?
I've had people like that. One girl was telling me, but you know, you're telling me not to eat large portions, whatever, but that's how I grew up eating. That's what my mother served me. I said, does your mother have diabetes? She's like, yes. I said, okay. All right. So she was like, but this is how I ate from small. So she, you know, then realized, okay, I grew up like this. I'm now an adult and I run my household the same way. So I have to effect change throughout the household. So I do get people who sort of get that and they start to effect change in the household, pull back the sodas that they might be allowing their children, pull back the lunch meat and the hot dogs and the nuggets that are just normal, part of the children's normal intake. They are able to put it together. So it's not everybody I have that conversation with. Of course, it depends on the age of the person. But some people, you know, take that action and change the entire household.
Marrianne, how do you see working as a community nutritionist benefiting those around you, not only from the environs around the clinic where you work, but beyond?
The nutrition education and support is key. When you have the knowledge, then you can I think the knowledge causes, you know, change to happen. So educating people, helping to change behaviors makes a tremendous difference. So yes, I do that in the clinic. And I also do it, I guess, in the community. I'm a community nutrition officer, so in the clinic, in my general community, and at home as well. Of course, my kids are over hearing me talk about nutrition and things all the time, but they have a better understanding when I use family members as examples to say, well, you see, this body has diabetes, this body has hypertension, etc., and this and that happens, so you notice this is happening with the person, etc. So I bring it right home to them. And, you know, it impacts their lives. When my children were younger, you know, the teachers say, you know, when they're in prep school and reception, they told the children, do not use that drink, my mommy said, you know. So they sort of got that messaging from early and they started to share it as little kids. So it impacts, so my messaging, you know, has a major impact on everybody really and truly who chooses to hear it. But it is necessary in this society right now. Barbados has a big problem with chronic disease. Over 80% of our deaths every year are from chronic disease, and we eat ourselves to death.
Sadly.
So that health information, health education, nutrition information, nutrition education goes a long way in terms of effecting change, because it's the choices that we make, and understanding that, you know, not as many people have a lot of money for food, understanding that our cost of living and, you know, the supermarket prices are high, but you also need to know how to put together an economical, healthy meal that is not full of processed meat, that does not have an excess salt, sugar, and fat. So that's knowledge then that you have to obtain from a professional. So I think my nutrition and health education from that perspective is very impactful.
I really hope that this journey still continues, not only within the clinics, but outside and wherever you go. Clearly, you have a passion for it. And here's hoping that we can encourage many others to trade out these sodas for the waters and the non-sugary juices and all the other things. If there was one thing that you would want to leave with us in terms of nutrition and our health as an all-round tool to work with, what would it be?
We need to be healthy to survive. You want to live a quality life, you need to eat well. I want people to understand that we cannot eat, drink as we like and expect then to be comfortable or live a quality life. So you want to live comfortably, you want to live, you know, without running to the doctor, etc. You know, play your part, operate in the prevention mode, and do not reach for any and everything that is tasty or that you think is tasty, or high sugar, high fat, high salt. Be mindful of the extent to which you eat these things. It impacts your health and it impacts your family. So just be mindful in terms of the choices that you make. I would say that.
So the next time you open that refrigerator and you consider what you're going to snack on or what you're going to have for lunch, remember those key words from Marrianne Burnham. You've been watching Positive Profiles. I'm Kimberly Skeet.